So I want to start off this video today by just saying that I am grateful for anyone who pays close attention to my words, to the lessons that I give. And I know there are a select few of you and you guys reach out to me. One day, this platform that I have, it's going to be massive. And I will never forget the people who are around to support me and mentor me and help foster my growth before I reach that point. So I just wanted to express that message of gratitude. Another thing that I want to say is that I've been thinking, and I think that I'm going to take my level of transparency on this channel to the next step, because my goal on this channel is to educate and inform the youth. Lessons that our society is just, we're just not going to inform the youth of these lessons, because everything is normalized. Casual sex is normalized. Substance abuse is normalized. Being shallow is normalized. Cheating on your significant other is normalized. There are so many things that our society normalizes that young individuals do not have a clear guide as to, like, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. There are consequences to all these actions that are not fully apparent when you are in your youth. However, they become more apparent when you're approaching your 20s and your 30s and you're like, holy shit, things aren't together. So, interesting video today. I want to talk to you guys about addiction, my experiences with addiction, and a concept that I was thinking of called dopamine loops. So I'll start by defining a dopamine loop. So a dopamine loop, a night with a dopamine loop would look like this. You know, you can't go to sleep. So you find yourself scrolling on TikTok and 20 minutes have passed and you're still scrolling and you're still scrolling. And then you get bored because that level of dopamine is no longer enough for you. So next, you find yourself watching porn somehow. It just happens, because it always just happens. You find yourself watching a porn video, and then when you finish that, you feel like, holy shit, like, what have I done? So then you go back on TikTok, you go back on YouTube, just to cover up the feeling of disgust that you just created for yourself. And in a way, this is a really nasty loop of, like, self-indulgence and just overstimulating and frying your brain. And I feel as if society kind of normalizes us humans frying the fuck out of our brains between video games, the way we interact with each other. Even, like, if you look at social media, all the content, there's subtitles everywhere, all over the screen. Long form content is no longer appreciated. Conversations like I'm having with you, this is probably not the social media landscape to be making videos like this, but I don't care, because this is what I feel like I should make, and I'm going to produce what I feel like I should produce. So, another thought on a dopamine loop. I figured that a dopamine loop is when, like, depressed or anxious people just become indulgent in themselves as a way to cope. Because depression isn't always sad. Depression is fun. In my experience, depression looks like marijuana, alcohol, partying, a lot of video games, neglecting responsibilities, self-indulgence. Now, if you ask somebody, what do you think about being depressed? They're just going to say being sad, being mopey. In my opinion, my experience with depression, I wasn't happy, but I definitely wasn't sad. I was just indulging in tons of activities and things that took me away from the current reality of the situation. Every time something bad would happen, I would just opt to do something self-indulgent to avoid that. So, everyone's escaping reality. Not everyone, but the majority of our society. You have to ask yourself at a certain point, what are you escaping? You're scrolling TikTok all night. What are you escaping? What thoughts at night are you escaping when you're indulging in this dopamine loop? Are you afraid of where your mind may wander when you're bored? And what's wrong with boredom? Some of the greatest ideas in human history have been created under boredom. All of these videos, all of these prompts in my journal, I have created when I am bored. And it's not to say that, like, I'm the next fucking Albert Einstein or I'm the next sociology master. However, it just goes to show that creations occur when you have a lack of stimulus. So why are we robbing ourselves from a lack of stimulation if it's so important in being creative and just making something of ourselves in this world? If we want to make something of ourselves, we have to create more than we consume. So our society is engineering us to be consumers. Porn, alcohol, nightlife, casual sex. We're consuming. We're taking sex from another person. We're intaking alcohol. We're smoking weed. We're partying. We're intaking the party life. What are we producing? What are we giving each other? When are we giving love to somebody? When are we showing love to ourselves? When are we giving? When are we producing things when we live this way? So at this point in the video, I just want to say, nobody is ever going to tell you that your addictions are killing you. Nobody's ever going to bring it up. You know, you talk about porn use, alcohol, nightlife. It's all, everybody's going to be like, oh my god, me too. But, however, when your addictions stop killing you and when you begin to master your addictions, that's when people will raise the questions. Why don't you drink anymore? Oh, porn is normal. Why don't you watch porn? Why don't you want to hook up? Why, like, when you stop these addictions that are so normalized, that's when there's a problem. And that is a fucking problem, because we should help people. People who are suffering from these vices should be offered assistance and love and guidance. However, it's just so fucking normalized to just be porn addicted, alcohol driven, to just rely on marijuana. Everything is so normalized that we do not help each other. We do not love each other. We just allow ourselves to be like, oh yeah, I see what he's doing. He's running from reality by smoking every night because he can't sleep because his mind is so fucked up. But that's okay. He can have a fucked up mind, but he has his nice happy little plant, so he's all okay. But it's not okay. We should help each other. We should love each other as brothers and sisters. I'm gonna just be upfront, right? I've done it all. The party life, alcoholism, moments of casual sex. Like, I've been there, bro. I'm not saying this like I'm a fucking narc, but it's just, dude, those things have profound effects. The biggest thing that has affected me and still affects me today is a porn addiction. I have been sober, like, it's not fucking alcohol, but I've been off of porn for, like, let's just say close to a year. And when I was indulging in porn, and it was like, bro, like a 2 times a day thing, dude. It was just so normal to do it. It was like a bodily reaction to boredom. Like I said, you know, you're bored. What are you gonna do with that? Are you gonna create, or are you gonna consume and be a fucking NPC? So when I was indulging in that porn use, I found that I was awkward around women. I found that I couldn't like love a woman wholly. I felt so insecure about my body, my performance, my sexual performance in comparison with, you know, the porn stars that we see. I felt a plethora of things. I felt like sex was becoming something that was like meaningless and like a performative task, when it is so much more. It is the interconnection of souls in this universe coming together and intertwining and like feeling each other's energy. That's how we should view these things. Not like, oh, like, you know, I'm just trying to bang after the club. Oh, like, I got so many bodies. Like I said, our society is fucked. And really, it's all just a waste of life. The porn addiction, it's just a waste of life. It's a waste of energy. Like, why indulge in that when I can indulge in things? I can put more effort into my girlfriend. I could take her out on beautiful dates. I can really, truly express love to her in ways that aren't over-sexualized. Because when you indulge in porn, your brain becomes over-sexualized. And that's kind of like where your actions will lead you. However, now that I'm desexualized, because I have desexualized my brain, I'm at the point where I can provide a woman an amazing time without needing sex. I don't need it. And, you know, women are receptive of that, because that goes to show that you're not like a fucking creep, or that you're not like over-sexualized and that you only think one way. Women are extremely receptive of that. And a lot of young men don't understand that. They think that everything is like so over-sexualized, like, oh, I gotta get with this person, I gotta link up with her, when you really don't. Going to carnivals, nice. Holding hands with a girl, beautiful. Coffee dates, beautiful. Watching a television show, those are all beautiful moments that I feel as if porn addiction took me away from. I didn't see the value in the little things, because when your brain is so geared towards sex, like you're a fucking monkey, you lose track of, you know, the consciousness of your brain. Because the consciousness of the human brain is like, I love this person. This is my woman. She takes care of me. She fosters me. And the fucking limbic system, that monkey brain is like, oh, like, I'm gonna go crazy tonight. I'm gonna go 12 rounds. Like, you're just like a jackrabbit. And those two parts of your brain are constantly at war. And when you indulge in things that allow your limbic system to take control, limbic system, I don't know, somewhere in the middle brain, versus your consciousness, the intelligent human right here, when you allow the limbic system to take over, you're just going to be an NPC in this life. And I don't know about you guys, but I want to foster the intelligence and the consciousness of my human experience. I don't want to just be a fucking monkey going through the days. And I think that cutting off our vices is an amazing step to cutting the bullshit. So, I mean, guys, as always, let me know any of your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. Just reach out to me. We can have conversations. I love talking about life. I love talking about the human experience, relationship dynamics, and I just really hope that this video finds the right person. So, have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.